hearty good morning. Hearty good morning to one and all. How's everybody doing? Welcome to another edition of To The Point. Today being Wednesday, the 21st day of December, 2022. The countdown is on, folks, up to Christmas Day. Yeah, wow. Time flies, right? Time flies. Just like we started December a couple of days ago. Now we almost gone past the midway mark and speedily approaching, the end of this particular month, which will lead us to, a new year also. Welcome to our television viewers this morning. Those of you who are viewing via GBN TV, welcome. Hope you're doing really good this morning. All settled in and ready to go. And it's Wednesday, and it's another open line edition. I did mention to you from Monday, more or less, until we kick into 2023. We're probably going to have mostly open line sessions in terms of To The Point. We may have the police tomorrow, not too sure about that. But it's mostly going to be open line sessions, which means it's always just open up. Let's just chat. Let's talk about stuff that's happening around you, things you want to, you want to look forward to see for 2023 to come. You're probably looking ahead that far already, and you there are things in your mind that you would like to see. Happen in the new year and so forth. That is, you just have that way of thinking, and you're saying, hey, this is my foresight for 2023. It's what I want to see happen to this beautiful land of ours. Let me say good morning to our online viewers and listeners, also those of you via our Facebook page. Welcome. Don't forget to share the live while you're there. It's also open for you to make a comment or two while you tuned in. And those of you who are viewing also via YouTube channel, welcome. Hope all is well with you. Let's take our very first caller this morning and say good morning to the caller. Caller, good morning and welcome to you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
It seems to me that most youth, bear in mind I didn't say all, most youth have a tendency to believe that they would never get, as they say, old. I would say they of age instead of saying of old. Since you're born, you're old. Now, even before you're born, you are old.
Mm-hmm.
Most youth are attacking ageable people and calling them old. Get up from the road. Even if you're driving, move on this side. Old man or old woman, you're driving too slow. And this is what hurting me. I'm not saying perhaps people are not old, but the youth believe that they do not have, some of the youth believe that they would never get old. And they have some sort of a feeling against the aged people, as if they have no rights in the world, no rights on the road, no rights nowhere. And I feel if they were educated, they should have known they have to get old too. And I think it's time that they understand how to be disciplined, how they have to be well disciplined. The aged people are more disciplined than even the youth. They want to cost the old people the time you wink your eye. You go in a place, move there, you old. In other words, what is you stay home? Even if you're much more knowledgeable and skillful than them, yet they feel they are to some extent superior. It's time that they understand that maybe, and to some extent, I know that the aged people, even if now they're living in the modern age, they are more educated than the youth because they know how to discipline themselves, and they usually discipline themselves. So it's time that they understand that. I don't know if other people, well, you look at a young youth or an old youth, I don't know which one. But centuries, 30 years or 40 years, they're calling you old now as if they would never reach that. And that's true. They may never reach that age because they are living in modern age and they don't know how to eat the good quality food and do the right thing so that they might be able to reach 80 and 90 and 100 and something years. This is what I have to say. It's time that somebody lays them up. Not Rolo alone that have to lace them up. Other people have a right to lace them up too. Thank you very much.
Thank you also, sir. Thank you very much for your contribution this morning. Taking to task there the younger folks out there who are probably being a little bit disrespectful in some way or the other. And as he said, he think it's time that he take them to task in terms of their behavior. I agree with you. There are a couple of young folks, also who I see around these days are being very disrespectful. I remember being when I was much younger, and growing up. And you will see an adult somewhere, and you be having a conversation. Then you will probably see some having that particular conversation because you see somebody who may know your parents, or or just a mere respect that you have for somebody who's elder than you are. And these days that's a no. I see children in the at very young age outside 1, 2 in the morning, and sometimes you wonder what's going on. Where are their parents? And you wonder about that. And young men these days are a lot of your younger men who are sitting by the roadside and the obscenities and stuff, all day, all night. Man, it bothers me sometimes. But, who am I to speak about that anyway? Good morning to you, caller. We lost that caller there. 435-2041. 435-2041. And it's a great introduction in terms of our topic this morning, in terms of how we see, this beautiful Alice going, especially young people. We understand lots of folks have left school, still may not have gotten a job, haven't gotten a job as yet. And sometimes, things that I think they could do better than what they're actually doing right now. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning, welcome.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Compliments for the season.
And the same to you.
And I most want to say that we have 2 mass celebrations in Grenada, 2 seasons of mass. Paris Mass and Christmas. And that Christmas is spelled with K-R-I-S-M-A-S. I say that because the sacred in what we knew as Christmas seems to have gone nearly all out. And the secular and vulgar seem to have come in full swing. It is unfortunate that what should be the celebration of a perceived Christ child has turned into a kind of mass, M-A-S, and this is unfortunate, but this is the signs of the times. Okay, I have lots more to say, but I'll stay quiet for the time being. Thank you.
Thank you also, caller. Have yourself a great day. 435-2041, open line session this morning. Let's just have that conversation, and of course, I hope everyone will, of course, use ample time to say what you have to say, and do not just prolong. I know sometimes you get to the point where you just feel you have to say stuff, but sometimes let's keep a time limit, please. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, GT. How are you?
I'm doing all right, sir. How about you?
Pretty good. Compliments for the season.
Same to you, man.
And our listening public. GT, the previous call, the one earlier on, it says, it is time that we take the youths at task, for the young people at task. And that statement is a very sad one. I would not go down that road. No, let's face the situation. The youths of today is the product of who in the context of yesterday? That's a crucial question. And if we answer that question, we would begin to recognize and realize our responsibility as parents and guardian leaders and policymakers. You call that your moral corporate responsibility. So if you want a clear path for tomorrow, you have to prepare the foundation today. What I would suggest in that context is get into the education system immediately and put a component in the education system, education relative to our survival in the global market. Not jobs, not more jobs, but how we can apply ourselves for survival or your daily living in a global market. Now, we come back one step and look at the Grenada context and its immediate environment. GT, have a great holiday and look forward for positive things and positive thinking for 2023. God bless all of us.
Same to you, sir. Have a great morning. And good morning to you. 435-2041. 435-2041. Let's go back to the phone line. Entertain another caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome. How are you?
Yes, good morning. Just calling back for 1 minute.
Go right ahead.
The youths of today are not influenced in a similar way of the youths of yesterday, where adults played an important role in the perception and in the thinking. The youths of today, to my mind, are influenced mainly by the television, by the music, by the Wi-Fi, by the telephone, that seems to influence their every thought and their perception and eventually their behavior. The role of the media in influence youth is far greater than the adults can. This is unfortunate. Thank you.
Thank you also, caller. Thank you very much for your contribution this morning. And certainly you do have a very, made a very important point there. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, DT.
Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning to your listeners and viewers. I caught a little bit of your first caller. I'm always interested what he has to say. And I think he was talking about how we treat the age or elderly, if I'm not mistaken.
Something along that line.
This is an area that I feel passionate about because over the years, as I've said even on your network in the past, the way we treat elderly people is almost despicable. We have seen the proliferation of convalescent or old people's home in this island. I mean, when I was growing up, one of the things that I used to be told, both by my mother and others, is that the worst thing to do is to put your people in a home. At those times, it was only what we call the poholes. Mm-hmm. Now we have fancy name for different places and so on, private things, which I'm not too sure people get the best treatment from a human point of view. Now, a few years ago, I was trying to organize, I proposed, even on your station again, the need for an intergenerational conference, national conference, so that we can discuss some of the gaps that exist right now. Because at two levels, at one level, the youth have to take responsibility for how they live. But at the other level, I would agree with one of your callers that says that we created the kind of problem we have, the monster we have before. And until we decide to take steps to really rectify that, we're becoming like United States in the sense that the youths have no connection. You know, we had different phases people went through here, from the baptism to the christening, to this, to that, the confirmation, this, and that sort of set people apart. No, you don't have much of that happening. And likewise, the only thing that the youth in the States, especially in the marginalized and color community of color, is the initiation in guns. And we're moving towards that. I mean, there's nothing, we have ensured that there's no organization that youth could participate with, because one of the legacy of the invasion was to discourage any kind of organization because they fear the so-called communists. But look, some of the communists are in the seat of power today, or has been. But, I mean, it's a problem we have that we don't know what we want and what we need. We let other people tell us, and so we follow it. We just like monkeys, you know. But I think that we can resolve the problem by sitting down and talking and accepting our part, our responsibility. All of us are responsible to some extent, and we need to be brave enough to say, okay, we are sorry.
maybe they talk about reconciliation next year in some level, October. Maybe we could prepare where we all could confess to each other that we have done each other some level of injustice or wrong by the way we have conducted our life, allow other people to influence us over the last few years. Thank you very much, GT.
Thank you also. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning here on To The Point. It's an open line edition for this morning, folks. 435-2041. We drew for a first break. Let's take it, and we come back with more of your phone calls. Stay with us here on To The Point this morning. We come in right back.
Ho, ho, ho! It's the season to be jolly, and the NLA is giving back loads of prizes to its loyal customers in its exciting Xmas Bonanza promotion. Yes, Grenada! It's your opportunity to win hams and bottles of wine and rum from November 15th to December 31st. Over 450 prizes will be up for grabs during this festive season. Simply purchase a single ticket valued at $12 or more in Lotto, Cash 4, Playway, or Pick 3, and check your tickets for the word ham, wine, or rum. Play daily for chances to win every day. Prizes are redeemable at NLA's head office on the Carenage on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, starting November 16th, between the hours of 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Must be 18 or older to participate. Terms and conditions apply. NLA, supporting sports, culture, and nation building. Happy Christmas, Grenada!
Ho, ho, ho! Let's mingle and jingle.
You mean jingle and mingle, right?
Does it really matter? Mingle and Jingle, the mid-morning program that will drive the Christmas season. Weekdays from 10 a.m. to 12 noon on Classic Radio, GBN Television, and all GBN social media platforms.
It's where the deals of the season are, where the Christmas music is played, holiday traditions are relived, and where all the fun is.
Mingle and Jingle.
Or Jingle and Mingle. Mid-mornings from November 14th to December 23rd only on the GBN network.
Made possible by
Flow,
Wester Hall Rums,
Hard On Plus,
Judy Free Caribbean Holdings,
Ace Hardware,
Gittins Healthcare, and
Grenville Credit Union.
Let me say welcome back. Let me say welcome back to our listeners and viewers this morning. It's To The Point for today, Wednesday, the 21st day of December. It's an open line segment, folks. Let's go back to the phone line and entertain this caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Yes, good morning to you, sir. I wish you a very happy Christmas and a bright new year.
And same to you, sir.
Now, when I hear people talk about the youths today, and maybe blaming the youth for their behavior, it hurts me very much because I was a youth and I heard a lot of things said about the youth. But look at me here today. Now, gone are the days when we used to have what you call the hiking by the hundreds, the beach picnic, family beach picnics, the table tennis, and whatever else activities that we used to be engaged in. The youth used to be engaged jointly with the adults. Gone are the days. You see, and where is the example for the youth when you listen to Parliament, you listen to the political speeches and the platform? You take those things, the behavior of those youths to that level. It's coming from, most of them is coming from there. So the behavior of the adult doesn't lend itself to better behavior, much better behavior from the youths. You know, and I think we sometimes have to embrace the youths and show them the way instead of maybe trying to put the blame on them. And thank be to God. Let me say that we have these gadgets so the children could engage maybe in the room, in the yard, in the house, wherever, other than going on the street and behaving bad. I believe, hadn't it been for these gadgets, we would have much, much more crime. So let us see if we could put some direction on the youth, help the youths, rather than trying to put the blame on them, because they're young and they're caught in a cycle here. It's too heavy for them now. We have to pull back and to show them the way. Thank you, sir.
Thank you also for your contribution this morning. 435-2041, 435-2041. Let me say good morning to those of you via our social media platform, especially Facebook. Don't forget your comments will also be welcome. Those of you who want to use the WhatsApp, 435-2041, you add that number to your contact, and you can also send me a message here, and I will certainly share those messages with the rest of the viewing and listening audience. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning, welcome.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, compliment, blessings for the time and the season.
Same to you.
What I want to say, right? In the 1400, Pope Pius, he gave a commission to Christian, go out and conquer Columbus and them, and come back and share with him. The problem we have today, I listen, people blaming youths, they blaming politicians, they blaming this one, they blaming that. The politicians and them we have is what they call house slaves. Sorry to say that. There are three groups of our people. These people are put there not by us, but they're saying it's by us, but they've been controlled by another group. The end up of the day, the problem we have is religion and politics. This is a two group in the position what we are in today. As Einstein has said, religion without science cannot work. The two of them have to work together. He said he didn't believe in God, but in the latter stage in his life, he had was to accept the two. One is external, one is internal. Religion, your child born, what you do, you bring the child to the church to get christened. They indoctrinate the child. Then from there, you bring the child to the school. What is school teaching our children? Is to be a slave. All the work in Grenada is to serve, a bartender, a carpenter. Is not about managing and learning. They teach a men's group in different schools that were smaller, but they teach our people to be servant. So the child go to school, government free education, they might spend $100,000 a year, how much, and that child grow up now, he get how much passes. He get the accountant to go and check the rich man money for low salaries. Then the church is telling him now, and with a woman in the church now, they see a girl and already should married. So they're going to borrow money in the bank. They borrow money in the bank, they married. As they get married, that woman empowerment telling them know how to treat the man and how to handle a set of laws put in place by a set of Grenadians who go abroad and come back. So therefore you have a next problem with that young man. He get frustrated. So three things they have or more they have in the village for you know. They have the police station, they have the rum shop, they have the church, and if you're not no control, they put you in a mental home or they put you up on the place on top of the hill they call the hotel up in Richmond Hill. And if that didn't work out now, they have Lacrosse society to take you. And the cycle go all over. Because we moved away from a traditional way of living. We start selling passports.
Well, let's take another 30 seconds and wrap, please.
Right. We used to go on the beach and catch fish. We cook, we share, we eat amongst ourselves. But people buy our passport, not calling the police and tell us the people lighting fire on the beach. Christmas time, you could have drive on Grenada and get a meal by the side of the road. So the system that we grew up in, our own people is our enemy. And that is what we have to change. We have to unite.
Thank you so much, caller. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning. 435-2041. Seemed to be a topical issue this morning, stemming from our very first caller. And lots of chiming in on it. Let's say good morning to the next caller. Good morning to you, caller. Welcome. How are you this morning?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yeah. A couple of years ago, I had a young lady who was attending secondary school. I was trying to drop a letter for her. And I realized that she couldn't write a letter. She was in a secondary school in Form 4. My question is, how did she get to Form 4?
Guess you would just put... Guess that caller got disconnected there for whatever reason. Not sure. Wasn't on my end. Guess it was on his end. 435-2041. 435-2041. Let's entertain another caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, GT.
Good morning to you.
Happy New Year to you before I start. But I just call on behalf of the man who lives in Coconut. I hear what he said this morning and I hear what he said last night. Tell him if you want help, go to this present government, go and put on him, he getting all kind of help. Because why? This government helping all poor people and old people. So back to you in St. George.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Have a good morning. Not sure the direction he was actually going there. Anyway, let's entertain another caller this morning. 435-2041. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Yes, I was disconnected.
Yes.
Yes, I was saying that the young lady, I was trying to draft a letter for her and get her to write a letter. And she was unable to write a letter. No. It's so disturbing that she was in Form 4 in a secondary school. I won't mention the secondary school. So the question is, how did she get to Form 4? That is the question. How did she get to Form 4? So it's a fundamental flaw in the education system. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Have a good morning. 435-2041. Let me say good morning to Mr. I will certainly try to get your comment in shortly. I will review it as the morning go along and certainly will throw it out. 435-2041, 435-2041. That's the number if you want to be part of To The Point this morning. It's an open line segment this morning, folks, which means viewers and listeners out there, you have the option of calling in, share your views and concerns pertaining to matters that may be of concern to you, or you may have a view on something that you would like to share. Your calls are certainly welcome. And let's take a peek at some of the comments before we grab another call. Let's take this one via the Facebook comment section. A bit lengthy, so let me see how quickly I could go through it. And Mr. is saying, last Friday on Old Culture, it was based on a statement made by Citizen Rollo, which was disrespectful to the host and those who contributed. I think Rollo does make a great contribution, but he crossed the line a number of times and never stopped in his tracks. I remember when he insulted a young host on the morning program and wasn't banned or blocked from that time. He also went on to disrespecting leaders of the country by addressing them as so-called, and once again, no one stopped him. So he continues on that path. So he continues on that path, and I'm appealing to GBN to put a stop to the abuse and disrespect of some of the callers who think they are they're untouchable. That's a comment there by Mr. via the comment section there of what Facebook. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning, welcome.
Hi, good morning to you and to your followers.
Good morning to you, sir.
And I continue to wish everyone a blessed holiday season and a wonderful end of the year. I've noticed the two callers who spoke just prior, who both mentioned education. And we have to understand that we cannot blame the schools for everything. It's true they're called schools, but we have a responsibility. There is a need to train our young people to become entrepreneurs and not all be employees. But every business must have employees. If you become a successful entrepreneur, you need to hire people to help you do your work, probably even to manage your business. So there is nothing wrong, there is nothing sinful or diabolical about being educated to work for somebody. There's nothing wrong about that. We have to also realize that when we spoke about kids and the language and so, the basic fundamental place for teaching language is the home. But we seem to operate as though there is no home, you know. We have a society with no homes. Children should not be learning English in school. It's the basics of communication. They should come with that from home. And if they go through secondary school, especially the secondary school, I mean, you know, it's not a time when you teach grammar and structures anymore. It's a matter of them practicing, using those things to succeed in the other areas. But we have to start with the home. We have a number of students or pupils who come from unbroken homes. I don't know if you call them homes or just buildings with people in them. We have to do something about our society. The fundamental building block, which is the family. We can't just throw our hands up and blame the school and blame the church and blame the government and blame the leaders. We have to start at the beginning, and many of us seem to ignore that there is such a thing as a family and there is such a thing as a home. We have to stop doing that. For the new year, let us try to do the best we can to engender good family values and to strengthen the families and to do what we need to do as families before we unleash our young people onto the world, either at school or in the workplace. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much also, caller, for your contribution this morning. That's the where we take a wrap for this segment. In terms of taking a break, we come back with more of your phone calls here on To The Point, the open line segment today. Coming right back.
You know, one day I woke up and, you know, they painted a set of pedestrian crossing all along the streets. You know, nobody told us how to use that thing properly.
I know how.
You're serious?
Every safe, good driver knows about these things. As a driver, you have to be very attentive. You know you're coming up close to a pedestrian cross, you start slowing down immediately, looking to see if there's any pedestrian on the side getting ready to cross. If there is, you stop on the line that is a certain distance before the crosswalk. Then you would see the pedestrian put their hands out, looking directly at you, indicating that they are going to cross. And only when you have come to a complete stop, that is when they will quickly and safely cross to the other side. And then you continue happily on your journey.
Stop, look, hand out, eye contact, wait for pedestrian to cross. Then you happily continue on your journey.
This message is brought to you by this group of insurance companies, the Traffic Advisory Body, and the Traffic Department.
5 things you need to know about self-isolation. Stay home. If you are told to self-isolate, it means staying at home, not going to work, school, or other public places, and you should not have any visitors. Separate yourself. If you live with others, then you need to stay in a well-ventilated bedroom with the door shut. If you have to share a bathroom, then use it after everyone else. Don't share towels and toiletries, as this may put others at risk. Call ahead. If you develop
Welcome back to our listeners and the viewers this morning. It's To The Point for today, Wednesday, the 21st of December, open line edition this morning, which means if callers, viewers, you have an option of calling and share your views and concern. Open line segment. Let's go to the phone line and entertain another caller. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Not bad, sir. Go right ahead.
Compliments for the season.
Same to you.
You know, I just want to say, put in my little 2 cents. I believe that the quality of children that we are seeing in our society today, it's like that's our savings. That's what we invest in as adults. Children don't just become. It starts with who you choose to go to bed with, and it spirals down. So we, as adults, the kids are our investment to the world. This is what we give to the world. So if they're not what we want, then we need to check ourselves. You know, we need to check ourselves, because it means then that something is flawed with our investment, right? It's like we all invest. You know, you put $10,000 into an investment, and you have a promise that, okay, in that amount of years you will yield X amount of interest. We give you that interest, so over that period of time you will have that amount. Now, if that don't happen, then there is a problem. You need to fine-tune and find out what is the problem, right? We every generation, as a famous song says, blame the one before. right? And sometimes we do it in frustration and whatever. But we need to check ourselves. Our children is a direct replica of the environment. There are some people who believe that they were born blank slates, and our environment, the environment we put them in, create them. So let's stop pointing finger at them as though they are something that dropped from heaven. No, they are byproduct of us. So if they are not disciplined, then we need to check ourselves, because it means then that we are talking discipline, but we are definitely not disciplined. If they are rude, we need to check ourselves, because it means that is who we are. You see, what is happening is that our children are exposing us in a lot of the ways. They're exposing the lies and the deceit that who we really are, right? So when that happens, we feel ashamed, we feel let down, but that's who we really are. There is a saying, GT, if somebody tell you who they are, you could doubt them. Well, our children is showing us who we are.
Point taken, caller. Point taken. Point taken. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning. 435-2041. 435-2041. That's a number to get on. Let's take another caller this morning. Let's go back to the phone. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, brother. How you doing?
Not bad.
That last caller, I wanted to give him a thumbs up. I was just laughing because what he says is so true.
So true.
It's so true, brother. Thank you for the statement, brother. It's very nice. My point is that, bro, I told you already. Renewable energy is the way to go.
Yes.
I don't know why our country is just wasting time. If you just go down by the land up in the area down there, by the school of med down there, and feel the wind on your chest, wind energy is we have so much in Grenada here. We're living on an island. It's so easy to get wind energy. Solar, let's look at the door, bro. Your sun is just wasting. A company can make 7 times the profit. 7 times the profit, by using wind or sun energy. So a company can make 7 times the profit. You cannot start me to see we're going to look for money for climate change, and we're burning fossil fluid every day. It's kind of sad. Doesn't make any sense, bro. My second point is that I was looking at the Senate, and my friend in the for agriculture, I was hoping that he would enlighten a little bit on this on 3 areas, talking about Irish potatoes. We both have the best soil in the world. I don't laugh when people say that in the mouth, but I just go along with them for a little bit, for just argument's sake. We have the best soil in the world. Yet we're importing Irish potato on a large number. We can grow that thing here. The Ministry of Agriculture to have a little program where they can teach farmers how to grow that, and have a little farm where it's growing so they can harvest it and show farmers, well, yeah, we can grow that here, so get involved in that. Because we import so much of that. There's a market for that here. Secondly, rice. We can grow rice. Rice is not difficult to grow. Rice is not difficult to grow. People grow rice on a hill where there's no water. Rice is not hard to grow. We import so much rice in this country here. We can do our own rice here. We have so much we can even fish, tilapia. Fish we can grow in a pond. Fish is $10 a pound, bro. Most Grenadians can buy a pound of fish. They can buy it. Just too expensive. So government need to invest in fish farming. I told you that already. So we can sell fish for like $5 so people can eat healthy fish. Or eat fish, I should say. Because we need to have fish for the poor people. So we need to invest in fish farming so we can rear the fish and sell the fish at $5 a pound. They can make a lot of money from doing that. There's a lot of areas in agriculture we can tap into. Because people are not in the vegan blogger anymore, bro. They're into rice and stuff like that.
You see, a vast majority, and you're right, Kola, because the vast majority of farmers are just stick to the traditional crops. You understand?
Vegan blogger, yeah.
They stick to that and been doing that from since ever.
And you hear them saying, oh, it's thin and spoiled, or we can't get it sell. We can tap into the Irish potato market, because we import that thing from Trinidad every day, bro. And it's so expensive for a bag. We can plant the rice. Rice is not hard to grow. Rice is as simple as one. Even wheat. There's a partner up here that grow wheat up here. In my Europe, he grow wheat and grind his wheat and make bread and all kind of stuff like that. Sell his flour. Simple like that. I mean, this thing is hard to do, bro. But we need to have this the driving force for the Ministry of Agriculture.
All right, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much, man. 435-2041. Let's take a peek at the Facebook comment section this morning. Before I take another call, the calls are coming really quick, so let me just take a second before I go back to the phone line, grab a couple of comments via the Facebook page this morning. We have Allison is saying, I believe that some of the old people is so disrespectful to the young people. Why don't they help the young people instead of complaining about them? And someone is saying, who wants to eat? I guess he was talking about the particular fish that the caller was talking about. He said, well, you don't want to eat that. Let's take a call and say good morning. Good morning to you, caller. Welcome.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yeah. Hello?
Yes, go right ahead.
Yeah. I was looking at the broad brush. We got to be careful with the broad brush. Now, education, we have the policymakers, we have the Ministry of Education, we have the schools. So let's keep the thing on track. And if there is failure along those lines, ultimately the child will suffer. And another thing again too, not all homes have parents. There are people who don't. There are children who don't have parents. We have to take that into consideration. So we have to look at the thing properly and critically. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your contribution also, caller. Let's go back to the comment section of the Facebook and grab a couple of the comments before we go back to the phone line. And Mr. is saying, Mr. I hope always getting your name, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. I happened to listen to the Honorable Senator Delma Farmers. In her words, she disrespected by, in her words, she was disrespected by members of her party. Let me get that back there. And she was disrespected by members of her party for her speech given in Parliament concerning the budget and other and coming together with the development of our country. I think people have to realize that the election is over, and we should focus on the country and not party. We've been divided and lied to many times by politicians. And if Ms. Farmers sees a way to bring us together and work for the betterment of Grenada, what is wrong about that? On what she said? And some of us need to stop the division. And we have another comment here by Mimi saying that the youth of today is no different to the youth of yesterday. And the problem that the youth is facing is discipline. Before time, if a youth is seen behaving inappropriately, you can correct them or talk to their parents, and the parent will deal with them. These days, the children and the parents will curse. They threaten you to beat you up. So people are reluctant to correct children, and if it differs worlds with a different attitude. Any other comment I could throw in there? I don't think so. Let's go back to the phone. I guess we lost that caller there. 435-2041. 435. You also have the option of making a comment via the comment section of the Facebook page, or you can send a message via the WhatsApp. Once it's of some relevance, I will certainly read it. Let's take another caller. Caller, good morning and welcome. Good morning to you, caller.
Yeah, good morning, GT.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, how it's been? You know, everybody's blaming education and people who should help the young people. Yes, I support this. But you know, we're behaving as though people are not supposed to take responsibility, personal responsibility. Because I have seen people who have come from homes where the parental aspect was lacking, but have risen to become top citizens. I don't hear anybody saying that people must take personal responsibility. I have a good partner, and he said as a child, as a young fellow, I think his father walked away, and he said to himself, when he grows up, he's not going to be like that. He said if he got married, he's going to stay with his children. He's not going to leave them. He said if he's under a tree, they will be under a tree. So people have to take personal responsibility so we can be better. Have a good day.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much for your contribution there this morning. 435-2041. That 435-2041. Open line edition for To The Point for today, folks. If you do have a comment or do you have a particular issue that you would like to deal with and you would like to throw it out this morning, certainly the line is open for you to do so. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
It amazes me how fingers are pointed towards the youth. And I know parents generally get very upset when their children lie to them, tell untruths. And this time of year is a popular time for untruths. We have the Santa story running around, and our children are caught up in it. And that is a very big lie that parents tell their children every year. The Jesus Christ story also, and the way in a manger, and all of that. We have to be more intelligent. Let us call on our divine intelligence, okay, so that we could get this right and stop lying to our children. And do not sit there in the church and allow people to lie to you. You research and see what is what, and give thanks and praises to the Almighty who created us. And let's stop pointing fingers at the children, and let's stop lying to them.
Thank you, caller. Thank you. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning. We drew for a break, our final one on the program this morning. Let's take it, and we're coming right back. Stay with us.
COVID-19 spreads from person to person through the droplets that are produced when someone coughs or sneezes, which makes it easy to spread between people in close contact. Now let's get prepared to stay healthy.
To reduce your chance of catching or spreading COVID-19, practice these simple everyday preventative measures. Droplets can also land on surfaces, so ensure that you wash your hands frequently for a minimum of 20 seconds or sing the happy birthday song twice. Avoid touching your face, especially your eyes, nose, and mouth. If soap and water are not readily available, use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer with an alcohol content between 60 and 90%. 70% is ideal.
When you cough or sneeze, cover your nose and mouth with a flexed elbow or a tissue. Dispose of the tissue immediately and then wash your hands. If you notice someone has a fever and cough or other symptoms of respiratory illness, avoid close contact when possible. Let's all do our part to ensure that each
10 minutes moving up before the top, 10 o'clock. That's time on the time, as I like to refer to it as. And which means just 10 minutes left on today's program of To The Point. So let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Speaking along the line of agriculture.
Yes.
Where we are told that we should try to grow our own food, potatoes and things. But there must be some price control. It's ridiculous when you go to the market to hear the cost of things. For instance, yesterday, a lady was selling dashing $6 a pound. Potato grown in Grenada, $6 a pound. String beans, $6 a pound. And when you look at it, it ain't making a pound. So you could buy 6 pounds of lentils with the money that you buy in 1 pound of string beans.
Right.
So I am not saying that we should not eat what we grow. But when you think about these things that come from away, they have to ship them down through river on boat to the port to come to Grenada. And it's cheaper than the things that we grow here. I think that the farmers, they could grow what they say could grow in Grenada, but they must look at the price that they want to sell to us poor people. They have to change that attitude.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning. 435-2041, 435. And looking at some of the comments of the Facebook page, I'm going to get to that shortly. Let's just entertain this caller and then we go back to the comments. Good morning to you, caller. Welcome.
Good morning, sir. Let me tell you this. education is not only academic education. Education is every single thing about the individual. The discipline, the knowing right from wrong. It's time that we people, when we're talking about education, we should understand what education means. Academic education is not education. Education is the all-round development of the individual. Every single thing you could think of. Knowing how to answer somebody. Knowing how to discipline yourself. How to say yes or no. Knowing how to, if you need food, what to do to get food. Education is being taught in the school. This is, instructive education, put it so. But you have to add their self-discipline. This is education. You've been educated at your home. In some homes, whether you educate the wrong way or the right way, you have been educated, but you have right because, as I've told you, some teachers say adding an orange and a mango, you cannot add that because they are not similar. Okay.
All right,
now,
Carla.
This is what fucks me. We have a vague idea, some of us, of education. As for me, I have taught in many different forms of school. I have worked in the ministry. I'm blowing my own trumpet now. And people know I'm a disciplined man. They know what I stand for. And it's time that people stand for something. This is education. Anybody would tell you I'm a nice man. I don't even know what they mean by that.
All right, caller. Thank you. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning. Thank you so much. 435-2041, 435-2041. Let's entertain another caller. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning to
Once
you.
again, I listened to a young lady a while ago speaking about the cost of things like sweet potato, etc., etc. It will always be like that, and it will get worse. For the last 20 years or so, not a lot has been done in agriculture. Just look at the country as we travel around. We are living in a jungle. People don't plant anymore. You look at the nutmeg trees, they're covered with vine. We have what you call manje kosher. It is time that we realize that one of the most important things and contribution we can make is in the agricultural field. The price can't go down when people start planting. So once again, I sympathize. In fact, I put it this way. I opened what I refer to as an outlet, going around and buying fruits and vegetables, not to make a living, but to try to assist in providing what you call food for the nation.
Right.
But you know something? I just gave it up a week ago. You know, what I have now, I give it away. But in all honesty, let us get back and start walking the lands. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Children nowadays are not taught to plant some tomatoes, plant some lettuce, and make a little kitchen garden. So once again, the price in the shop will continue going up.
Thank you, caller.
Have a nice day and a happy Christmas.
Thank you so much, caller. Have yourself a great day also. 435-2041, our final 10 minutes left on today's program. Let's take another caller. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Yeah, morning, GC. The conversation this morning has been very electrified. I think I'm very, and I think we have to thank you for able to stay the course. One of the things I think that keeps coming out is the issue of our lack of honesty, which is a character defect. When you hear people speak, they talk about their policies, honesty, but they have honesty as a policy. To me, is a disgrace, because honesty should be one of your traits, not a policy, so that when conveniently you do the thing that is not right. I'm not talking necessarily from a moral point of view, but what you know is not right, like cheating, telling lies, and all of that. Going to work, notwithstanding the fact that workers generally in Grenada are not compensated properly, but turning up to work in a disorganized way where you can't focus because you have not been able to resolve the issue at home. All of these things is a form of dishonesty, and we need to really come to terms with those things. The other thing, one of your callers said, nobody is talking about encouraging people to take responsibility. That has been one of my signature efforts over the last few years. I've done sessions on it, people taking personal responsibility, because that's the only way we will make progress. That's the only way we will hold each other accountable. And we have to move away from this harsh judgment of one another, like how we were judging the policewoman recently in the incident. We need to really understand that the problem and the thing that Innocent played from Joel Osteen this morning, winning the battle from within. The battle is not outside now, within. All the problems that we have stem from our inability to resolve the inner conflict where we have. So I hope that going forward next year, we will be able to encourage more conversation like that, where we listen to each other and learn from one another, and also to be different, model the behavior. We can have people at the highest level in Parliament saying, yes, they pay you to do that because, he infringed on the rules of the Parliament. We can't have that and expect to have a decent generation, a younger generation. They're looking on.
Thank you so much, caller. Thank you so much. It's about time for us to wrap for today.
The thing about we teaching, a lot of things we teach is not true. I've heard teachers tell me that they teach children things that are not true, but tell them just do it because they have to pass the exam. Something is wrong with that.
Thank you so much. Have a good morning. Have a good morning. Hey, folks, it's about time for us to wrap for today, and certainly it was a pleasure being here this morning, taking care of the program for you, To The Point. Join us again tomorrow for another edition of To The Point. Once again, all who contributed, whatever way you did, whether it's via your comment, you called, you listened, you viewed, thank you so much. Have yourself a wonderful day, and enjoy yourself, whatever you plan on doing today. Have a good one. That's why I say goodbye.